when they get to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for Hajj, even before they leave for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, what is expected of them. They will be given all that information. The second exercise is going to take place on the 16th of September at Buva Zone. That is going to be the practical aspect of it. The first one is going to be more of a literature aspect of it. That is that people will be oriented on what to do and all this in preaches, questions and answer forum and all that. But the second day, which is the 16th, is going to take a practical dimension.
The Public Relations Officer, Gambia International Airlines, Babukar Fati, gave an insight into the program.
What we gain from this practical exercise is that the pilgrims, by the time, if they do this exercise, by the time they get here, when they go to Saudi Arabia, we find it very easy to move with them, and most of them will do these things without a guide. The second aspect of it is also very important, is what I may call self-assessment. If you are involved in this exercise, you as an intending pilgrim, you'll be able to determine at the end of the day whether you'll be able to do this or not.
According to the PRO of the National Career, a lot of financial and human resources has been committed to what is described as a traditional exercise geared towards a successful Hajj. Mama J, GRTS.
EcoBank has entered into a new partnership with the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations. This development between Tango and the 27-year-old Pan-African financial institution is a mutually beneficial alliance anchored on the two institutions' quest to invest in the country's development sector.
Credited for their Pan-Africanism with distinguished services to not only their customers, but a new approach seeking for partnership with the NGO community.
EcoBank Gambia recognized the contribution of the NGOs, of the international organization and the development partners in the socio-economic development of the Gambia. This is also in line with the EcoBank Group mission and vision to build a world-class Pan-African bank and to contribute to the economic and financial integration and the development of the African continent.
We want to once again express our appreciation to EcoBank for donating $25,000. It was the only bank that responded to our appeal for funding during the NGO week. And we once again want to express our sincere thanks and appreciation.
They stormed the banking industry in 1985 with a current staff portfolio of 11,000 personnel, operating in 32 countries in Africa with 750 branches.
As the bank of the NGOs and the international organization in the Gambia calls upon all of you, irrespective of size, to come together in this forum to forge a strong, mutually beneficial partnership. Let me not abstain to say that as a Pan-African bank, we are your natural partners, as we can follow your activities within 32 countries across the continent, using 3 official languages, using more than 21 currencies. Indeed, EcoBank is present in more countries in Africa than any other bank in the world.
We need funding. We need funding to support these various activities, and over the years we have been calling on the private sector to support Tango. We sincerely and truly appreciate this cocktail organized by EcoBank, which is all aimed at building and strengthening partnerships, which is a key and a very important element in the development world today.
With a variety of customer-friendly services in addition to its new partnership with Tango, EcoBank has renewed its commitment to not only serving its 11 million customer base in Africa, but reinforce the development of non-governmental organizations. Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
Religious leaders from the Greater Banjul area have participated in a 2-day policy dialogue on Islam and female genital mutilation, courtesy of the Women's Bureau. This forum, funded by UNICEF and UNFPA, forms part of efforts by the Women's Bureau to advocate for increased awareness on the harmful effects of FGM. Fatou Jasseh reports.
Women Bureau's efforts to address and respond to issues that affect the welfare of women and girls prompted them to organize this forum. In compliance with the Convention on the Rights of the Child and the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women, CEDAW. FGM has been perpetuated over generations by social dynamics that make it very difficult for individual families and girls and women to abandon the practice, despite the awareness creation on the harmful effects of FGM. Targeting religious leaders and empowering them with knowledge and information is among the many steps that Women's Bureau and its stakeholders are taking towards achieving the desired objective on FGM. Speaking on behalf of the UNICEF country representative, January Sanyang commended Women's Bureau for their efforts in addressing issues confronting women. As the UN agency responsible for children globally, UNICEF recognizes the significant advances already made in the Gambia since the UN Convention on the Right of the Child and the CEDAW were ratified by the government.
The Women's Bureau has organized this meeting to solicit your support as religious leaders and influential people in your respective communities to help the country break this social norm. The meeting will serve as a very critical platform to not only better understand the harmfulness of FGMC, but also thoroughly examine the misconceptions about the practice being an Islamic obligation. With the caliber of participants and resource persons present here today, I am convinced that the discussions will be fruitful and sound recommendations will emerge from them.
Mamadou Lamin Toure, President of the Supreme Islamic Council, said it is obligatory as religious leaders to participate in issues that would bring peace and tranquility in the country. As leaders of different congregations in communities, the opportunity given to them in the decision-making process has a bearing on the communities they serve, and as such ask for God's guidance in their deliberations to enable them come with tangible results that are in line with the teaching of Islam. The Executive Director of Women's Bureau, Aida Fai Hydra, underlined the numerous achievements made in policy and legislative measures the Gambia government enacted to promote the rights of women and children.
Currently, the Women's Bureau has formulated the Sexual Offences and the Domestic Violence Bill, and once enacted will go a long way in addressing issues of gender-based violence, all of which will contribute towards the attainment of gender equality and women empowerment. Mr. Chairperson, since 2007, UNICEF has been working closely with Tostan and the government of the Gambia, as said earlier by Junior, through the Women's Bureau to accelerate the abandonment of FGM in the Upper River region, one of the most deprived regions in the country, which registered an FGM prevalence of about 99%. Alongside these interventions at community and policy level, continued awareness creation on the issue is being conducted by most stakeholders. We are convinced that targeting you as religious leaders and empowering you with knowledge and information is a significant step towards achieving these objectives.
Collective efforts of all community and religious leaders as well as policymakers can greatly help eliminate the practice, seen as many activists as a violation of women's rights. For Grts News, I am Fatou Jassi.
Well, over now to some news just in. His Excellency the President of the Republic, Sheikh Professor Walhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, Friday received at State House the Senior Foreign Affairs Minister of Ivory Coast, Daniel Duncan Keblen. Keblen, who is in Banjul as a special envoy of the Ivorian leader, His Excellency Alassane Ouattara, spoke to waiting journalists after his audience with the Gambian leader. Here's an excerpt.
And there will be a meeting on September 17th in Abidjan. The meeting of the Minister in charge of Security and Aviation, which include the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Defense, and Minister in charge of integration. And we'll have to have his position and discussion. And we got a very large overview of the question and his advices on the question. The second one was related to the question of Guinea-Bissau. You know that there was a meeting here on Guinea-Bissau, and the President gave us his view and how to do to improve the situation in Guinea-Bissau. Well, and we also spoken about the question of the bilateral relation between the Gambia and La Côte d'Ivoire, and the final decision is that my friend Tankra and I have to work harder so that